Let's talk about this last episode with JK and Brooke. She's sitting outside of his probation officer's office, and she's just sitting outside in the car while JK's inside, and he's like, okay, baby, I'm gonna be in and out. This is only gonna take like 15 minutes, and we can be on our way. Well, 15 minutes quickly turned into an hour, then 2 hours, and next thing you know, it's pushing damn near 4 hours. She's been sitting in this hot car wondering what is going on. She's starting to think like, damn, did they take him back to prison? And she's calling his mom, and the mom's like, you need to march your butt inside right now and figure out what's going on. Eventually, after all the built up suspense, JK came walking out of the probation officer's office, and he had some good news. Originally, his curfew was 5 p.m. and he wasn't able to go out on weekends, but now he can stay out until 7 p.m. and he can go out on weekends. And it's his grandmother's birthday, so he wants to travel an hour there and an hour back, so it's a 2-hour trip total in the car to go visit his grandmother on her birthday. Brooke acts like she's being supportive and like she doesn't mind him going to see his grandmother because this is his last living grandparent he has, and it's her birthday. But at the end of the day, you can tell that Brooke is really annoyed with JK, and she would rather just be somewhere with JK, laid up with him and her boys. And I get it. I mean, I get super annoyed when I have to drive all day from one place to another. And like after I'm driving for like more than an hour, I just get a killer headache nonstop. So I get it. But at the same time, she has to understand this is the life you chose. You chose to date an inmate. And when he gets out of prison, you got to deal with the probation and parole officers and taking them to go see them and take their little drug tests and everything that comes along with it. It's not easy, and she's really lucky that he didn't have to go to a halfway house. I mean, she knew she was gonna have to take him to see his parole officer once he got out of prison, and she knew that she was gonna have to take him back to his mother's house by curfew. Things aren't always going to go according to plan, and things aren't always going to operate smoothly, and I think that's something that she's going to have a very hard time adjusting to when it comes to dating a man that's on probation like JK. So they go to go see the grandma, and once they drive over an hour to get there, JK was like, hey, I want to talk to my grandma one-on-one, so I need you to sit outside. So she was even more annoyed because she has to sit outside in the heat by herself, and she felt like JK did this on purpose because he wanted to talk to the grandma and hide things from her. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be looking into it that much if that was her. I would just feel like, okay, he hasn't seen his grandma in over 6 years. I feel like it'd be appropriate for them to meet each other because, I mean, she's meeting him all grown up and as a whole new different person. So I feel like they should be able to have their moment before she gets brought into the mix. JK goes inside and catches up with his grandmother, and his grandmother was like, yeah, so how are you and Alex doing? And it seems like everybody almost in JK's family almost looks at Alex as JK's current girl and current situation instead of Brooke. Like, everybody asks more about Alex than they ask about Brooke herself. And the grandma said, look, I ain't a big fan of Brooke. I don't really know Brooke, and Brooke even brought her a little birthday gift, but she's like, I just have a really bad feeling about her, and I've known as I've gotten older, when I have a gut intuition to trust it, and I've been right all the times in the past. And I think the grandma might be on to something. Here's my thing. I think what Brooke's problem is, she is trying to push her kids onto JK too much. She's trying to force this man into being a father when she just needs to sit back and let it happen organically. I think the children should be able to get to know JK at their own pace and form their own opinions, but it seems like that's already kind of been ruined because it seems like Brooke has just kind of thrown JK on these boys and is just forcing them to accept who he is without really getting a chance to know him first outside of prison. Finally, JK and his grandmother come outside and talk to Brooke. Brooke gives her gift, and Brooke was like, look, we need to blow this popsicle stand ASAP because the boys are waiting for you. And she thought it was 5 p.m. and that means they would have 2 more hours to get home before he has to get back to his mother's home. So they get in the car and they realize it's 6 p.m. and he has to be home by 7, and they're still an hour away from the mama's house. So they're literally going to be cutting it pretty close when it comes to getting there before curfew, and hopefully they get there on time because the PO said if he's even a minute late, they're going to send him back to prison. Once they're in the car and she realizes it's 6 p.m. not 5 p.m., he's like, well, babe, I don't think we're going to have time to see the boys. I got to go straight to my mama's house. And her whole mood completely shifted. She was like, I've been running around for you all damn day. I sat outside the probation office for 4 hours. I went to your grandma's house and sat outside for hours. And again, like I said, these were all things that she knew she was going to get herself into the first day. Yeah, it shouldn't have taken hours, but she knew the first day was going to be mainly all about JK, not her, and his obligations he has to take care of. And she gets all mad. She's like, the boys have been waiting for you. So what are you supposed to tell the boys? And he's like, well, we're just going to have to tell the boys that they're going to have to wait until tomorrow. And she's like, the boys are not going to understand. They're 8 and 12. They will not understand. And I'm pretty sure they will understand. I mean, they may be disappointed and hurt, but I'm sure they'll understand, like, look, we don't want him to go back to jail. So yeah, let's just wait and go to bed and we'll be able to see him in the morning. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, if they go to bed, they'll be able to see him within 12 hours. I think Brooke is being so over dramatic at this point. And I understand you are excited for the boys to finally meet JK. But at the end of the day, these are not JK's sons. You can't expect him to get all excited about these kids that are not his. And yes, I would hope he gets a little bit excited, you know, since he might be their potential stepfather one day. But he is not attached to these kids. But she ended up getting so upset that she ended up pulling over the car. And she's like, yeah, I'm not driving no more. Pretty much like throwing a fit and acting like she didn't want to drive anymore until they got things figured out. And he's like, what is there to figure out? We can't see your kids today. And he's like, what do you want me to do? Or I can see your kids and make you happy, and I'm going to be going back to prison. And they've already revealed that they have 1 hour to make it home. So they're already pushing it and risking him going back to prison, and now she's pulled over on the side of the road playing games, just wasting even more time. It's like she thought if she sat there on the side of the road long enough, the time was going to miraculously change and just go back 4 hours prior to where she could go see her sons. Then he got out of the car and called her a effing bitch, and he went off. I forgot to mention there was a part in the episode when she was at his grandma's. After she drove him an hour to be with his grandma, he had the audacity to take his cousin's phone and call his ex-girlfriend. And this is when he was literally on the same property as what's her name, his girlfriend Brooke. Like, you could see him standing. He was probably standing like 20-30 feet away when he decided to call his ex. And you can tell even though he says that he's over his ex, you can tell he's still really hung up on her. And I think that he prioritizes her over Brooke. And spoiler alert, he does have a new girl. His mother posted this picture saying James with his girlfriend Anna. And at first I'm like, okay, is that the ex he was talking to? But the ex is Alex and this is Anna. So I haven't heard of her before, so this sounds like a new girl. And he looks nice and healthy and like he's put on a little bit of weight since his prison release. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.